Hey guys, and welcome to this edition of Scruff's Garage. So today's video, I'm going to do a gear review on some motorcycle pants that I used for a recent ride. So I just got back last weekend. I did the BDR X Loop through the PA Wilds, 500-mile route. We did it over 3 days. It's probably 70% off-road or unpaved at least. So I thought I'd do a review on these HWK pants. It's an Amazon brand. I bought these right before the trip. So long story short, I really like the pants, especially for the price point. I think I paid $60 for these. That's always subject to change, but I paid like 60 bucks. Size wise, I normally wear in jeans or something like that, like a 30-30. 30 waist is starting to push it a little bit, but these are their size small, which they call it in a 30-inch inseam. These worked out really well for me. So from a fitment perspective, in the waist, they have a Velcro, elastic section on the side, and then a Velcro kind of belt, if you will, on both sides. So you have a lot of adjustability in the waist, and I was able to get these to fit me just like I wanted. Then you have a zipper that's covered by Velcro, and then 2 buttons, and this worked out really well. They fit fairly high. You have a stretch panel sort of lower back above your butt. They have a reinforced section sort of in the butt and the crotch, a little bit of a stretch panel there as well. So as you're stretching to get on and off the bike, especially if your bike is loaded, so this is from adventure bikes, this is really not that high of a seat height, but especially compared to maybe a street bike, this is a little bit taller. And if you have gear on top, sometimes it's a bit more of a leg stretch to get your leg over. So I had plenty of adjustability, no complaints. Tightness in the crotch or the waist or anything, trying to get on and off the bike, they worked really well. They do have some venting, but it's limited. So let's talk about that for just a little bit. So if you're looking at the front of the pants, you have 2 zippers, like there's a zipper and a zipper, and it kind of opens up this panel and you kind of go all the way through. And then on the inside, you just have some mesh, and the mesh is see-through, so you can see your leg or shorts. I wore these with a pair of mesh basketball shorts under it, and that was particularly comfortable. So in each leg, you have that sort of venting. You also have a small pocket up here that you can unzip it, and we got stuff in there, but you can maybe get a little airflow through there. Overall, they're not very well vented. That's not a criticism, just an observation. Keep that in mind. For this particular ride I did, temperatures were in the low 80s. So it really wasn't a big issue. But if you know you're going to be riding in really hot weather, just keep that in mind, that they really don't have a lot of venting. So they do have some padding. So there's a hip pad in here. To me, the hip pad, I'll try these on it so you can just see them on me, but the hip pad was a little low. So sort of your hip bone is there. To me, the padding was a little low. You know, your body type's going to be a little different than mine, and it's a fairly thin pad. You can take the padding out, right? So it's just a thin pad. It's actually stamped CE, so sort of implies that it's CE rated, but obviously it's not hardcore armor. You don't really want to drop the bike. It also has some padding over the knees. It's fairly flexible, so it's not like hard type of armor that you might see in like a race bike type leathers or something. This has got pretty good flexibility, so I had no problem standing up and sitting down and riding with my knees bent on the bike. The leg, these are sort of designed to be an overpant, and they can also cover if you have boots on, like an over the boot type pant. So they have a zipper on the side and then a Velcro piece at the bottom, so you can kind of tweak how tight you want it around your boot. For me, I ended up doing the ride. I was just have a pair of Columbia hiking boots that I wear. They covered the top of these pretty well. I had no issues with that. I did try these on. I tried on a couple of different pair of adventure boots. So the O'Neill Sierra boots, and also tried the MSR adventure boots that come up a little bit higher. I think I have a picture I'll throw in if I do. These covered those boots no problem. So you have plenty of room to open up the pant leg, get it over the boot, zip it up, reattach it. So there's plenty of adjustability there. So these pants by themselves are not waterproof. I'd call them water resistant, so they don't get saturated as quick as, say, like a pair of jeans, but they're not just completely waterproof. So they include with the pants a liner that goes on the inside of the pants, and it zips in at the top, and it has a couple little snaps at the bottom, and it also has the zippered for the leg as well. And I guess these would make the pants waterproof in the sense that water wouldn't get all the way through, though the outer pants would get wet. In fact, they would get saturated. We ended up riding in some pouring rain before I got my rain gear on. I'll talk about that in a different video. But these pants can get saturated at that point. So knowing that the waterproof liner goes on the inside of the pants, to me is not the best solution for riding in the rain. Where I think this would be beneficial is particularly in the winter, would make the pants essentially windproof. That's typically where you lose most of your body heat, is that the wind blows through pants or jacket or whatever. So these as a liner for the wind would be pretty nice. And then you could wear maybe some thermals or something like that under the pants to keep you warm, and this would keep the wind out. So that's how I, to me, would see using this liner. So I'll try these on, and you can see them on me, get a sense of the length. I'll put the boots on, and then I'll sit on the bike so you can just kind of see how everything fits. Okay, so I've got the pants on. One thing I'll mention, so I was talking about the hip pad. So it's where my hip bone is, like right there. The hip pad goes from here to here. To me, it seems a little low. It would have been nice if it was a little higher to kind of protect that hip bone a little better. But overall, that's a minor complaint. The other thing I'll mention that I thought was a little weird that I discovered, and don't worry, I have shorts on under this. When you unzip them, it doesn't actually open up. There's still like a panel of material in here. So if you're on the side of the trail and you got to go to the bathroom, it's a little extra step to be able to do so. But otherwise, I was able to get the pants to fit like I wanted to. So here, I'll get on the bike. So you can kind of get a sense of the length on me and where they fit relative to my, and these are, like I said, hiking boots. Obviously, if you had motocross boots or adventure boots that came up higher, these would easily cover that with this length. The knee pads to me are basically where I would want them. They cover my knee pretty nicely as I sit on my bike. Like I said, you have some venting up here. This panel is mesh. You get a little bit of airflow through it, but not anything significant. But overall, these pants held up really well. Like I said, I wore them 3 days in a row, 500 miles, mostly off-road. Obviously, I didn't crash, so I haven't slid down the road in them. This is a tougher material than maybe regular pair of blue jeans or some other lightweight pants would be, so I think you'd have a little bit more protection in that regard, though obviously they're not Kevlar lined or something of that nature. But for $60 for the ride that I knew I was going to do, I'm really happy with these pants. They do have a pocket up here, I'll mention that. Now, I'm not a big fan of riding with stuff in my pocket because if you were to fall, that can be a point of impact. But if you get off the bike and you're going into, say, a convenience store and you need a spot to put your wallet or your cell phone, the pocket's kind of nice. I think that's everything I can tell you about this. If you have any questions, feel free to post them down in the comments. I'll answer anything that I can. But overall, I'd say I'm really happy with these. For 60 bucks, they did everything I wanted them to do. So I hope that helps. Thanks for watching, and as always, I'll see you next time here on Scruff's Garage.